You are now about to witness the awesome, crushing light of the Eugene S. Robinson Show Stomper! Oh, welcome my friends to a show that never ends. It's version of 3. 6, 4, I don't know, it's nothing but chaos. Hey, remember when we used to cry when I would start the show? She used to cry when I started the show when she was a baby. But no more tears. We got a lot to talk about. Because the show is almost waylaid. Well, let's let Stigmata sing us in like they have every single week since 2007. Stigmata from the Calling of the Just. Song is called Intro All of Nothing. Still available from Revelation Records in Huntington Beach, California. Where they shoot you to death in a nightclub?
No.
You do? Did you call it a hammer?
Yeah.
And run your meal pro 10 out of town on a rail to open up a substandard restaurant in Central Florida that will simply fail. Yes. Well, let's let Bob have his say. Listen clearly. That's the guy who's singing. You get the singer in a few seconds. Listen well.
I'm on my way back to nowhere. I took my time.
For that first night, see so clear. I'm taking a real good look at you. I'm taking a real good look at your face.
I'm on my way back to them, boy.
So beat it clear back and forth always. All right. Let me explain to you what happened. What happened is apparently show is live but can't chat because your subscriber settings. You know what? Based on subscriber only mode, only channel subscribers of 5 minutes or longer can send messages. So if you want to leave, stop it. If you want to leave comments, you got to subscribe. I can't help you. It's too much computer stuff. They're going to, this is how, if you read the Substack, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're too small. Nobody cares about us. We don't get, they find ways to, Combat Music Radio was a thriving station until some computer stuff, that is June, some computer stuff, took it down. Nobody could figure it out. And we're like, all right. Thanks. So sorry, the show is gone. And this could strangely meet the same type of fate. It's not the old days like Gutenberg's press, where I just have a press or a mimeo machine where I can print something up and hand it out. All this stuff comes from multinational corporations. Multinational corporations that you exist at their whim. So the deal was apparently June used an illustration of live surgery. And this went afoul of some rules that are in the tiny small print that none of us have ever read. So they were sending warnings. That's why they were canceling me. Oh, yeah. Now you can finally chat. Mr. VO is in. So Mr. VO Real, I'm guessing. So the rest of you, if you want to chat, you got to subscribe. Of course, you're subscribing to a dead end because this is just my personal one, not the one I use for the show. But at least you can make your thoughts known. So that's what the monkey with the wrench was about. I guess somehow they didn't like it. They took umbrage with it and kept sending me emails to pay attention to it. I said, I don't pay June $660 a month, so I have to pay attention to anything. So I ignored it. And apparently they said, oh, you're going to ignore us? Well, here's this. You're on probation. They yanked the show. I am not off of that same channel. I can't do anything for 2 days. You would think that they would give you the benefit of the doubt because the show is like 365 shows in. Clearly, This has been a terrible, but you know what? I'm not going to anybody with my hat in my hand. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not doing anything. The show exists at the whims of fate. Fate doesn't want it. The jungle doesn't want it. What can I tell you? I don't have the bandwidth to figure this stuff out, and I will not. All right? Substack is doing the same thing in a weird way. Stripe, or the company that takes the money, periodically they keep bugging me about, oh, you have to do this thing of business verification. What are you talking about? You've been taking money from me for 4 years. Don't hit my leg, kid. I'll flip out if you hit my leg. You know which leg hurts. It's that one. Okay? Thank you. So, they got Stripe is like, business verification. We'll cancel your thing by July. Hey, look, man. Hey, how about this? How about I just make the Substack free, and if people want to Venmo me the money, fine, and I don't need you. All of this is to justify work, which is why it galls me to no end that Eck at Spotify is driving around in luxury automobiles, living in a mansion where no matter how many plays I get, I will not make any money off of Spotify. None. Zero. If Jay-Z is not making significant amounts of money on Spotify, I will not. And the reality of it is, they got you. Luigi Mangione, his response was the only sane response. Because you remember with the surgery, $3,300 a month I'm paying for that surgery, for healthcare. They ding me for $520. I get a bill the other day, all on top of that, for $274. For what am I paying that? People understand why I'm leaving America. This country is a casino, and it's nickel and diamond me to death. Let's go through it. Home insurance. Oh, but they've had so many problems in California. That's not enough. So you have to get supplemental earthquake insurance. Well, because of the problems we've had, that's not enough. You have to get supplemental flood insurance if you live in a flood zone. In the Bay Area, that's most of us. Okay, well, let's forget about that for a second. Oh, we got car insurance. All right? That's 4 different insurances. Got car insurance. Now you got health insurance for a family of 3. But that doesn't cover dental, so you have to have dental insurance for a family of 3. It doesn't cover eyes. You have to get VSP. So that's VSP, 3 more for a family of 3. I have 13 different types of insurance. 13 different types of insurance. People are, why you want to leave America? You know how much I have in Spain right now? This guy, my visa's coming through. I got, for a family of 3, 200 euros a month. That's it. Car insurance, home insurance, done. I'm done. But this country will grab you by the ankles, turn you upside down, and empty your pockets. Now, my MAGA friends are telling me stuff like, oh, well, Obama. I go, well, don't give me that Obama stuff. I've been fighting with insurance companies about healthcare since 1982. Stop it. 1982. When I was knocked out for a concussion, my friends took me to the emergency room. God forbid they would have called an ambulance. They made me lay in a bed. They said, do you have health insurance? I go, yeah, my mom, I'm 19, has health and Blue Cross. I give her my mom's insurance. They go, oh, that's not covered here. You have to do this whole list of things. Nah, you know what I'm doing? None of that. That was my first big fight. 1982, 1985, 1990 for the appendectomy. I've been fighting, nothing to do with Obama. I've been fighting with these blood-sucking leeches for over 40 years.
What?
Yeah, Medicaid. Yeah, you ever try that? Tried that for a bit. Like when I was graduating out of college, 1987, before the money from Leonard Part 6 started rolling in, I was desperate. I'm going to go apply for welfare. We're leaving you there the whole day. At the end of the day, they go, you own a house, you got a college degree. We can't give you any welfare. All right, well, what about some government cheese? They can't do that either. The system is designed to make you shoot people.
Shoot.
Yes, yeah, like Luigi Mangione shot this guy for denying him. He was a Republican, and they were denying him health care. And he was like, oh, I see how the system works. So don't give me this hard time about leaving America. And I love Bill Burr, and I love who's Bill Burr is doing it. And stop it. Pedro Pascal has recently come out with, you got to get in there and fight. And if you read my Substack, today, you also get the same feeling that I might be suggesting that as well. You got to get in there and fight and fight. You know what? I got better things to do. On planet Earth, there are real people living real lives than fighting for some. If the 50% of the country, 49% of the country doesn't think these things are worth fighting for, good. You stay. And just deal with it. I will not. I will not. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like, talk about a brain drain, whatever, bro. Clown it up. You're going to do a reality TV show with people trying to get get green cards. That's their offering? Bad TV? What do you expect from a guy who did bad TV? Yeah, listen, the first time I moved out of this neighborhood, this low-income neighborhood, which I'm trying to get out of now, or medium income neighborhood, my ex-wife was like, we got to move. We got to go move on. I was like, nah. I don't want to move. This is good. This is appreciation value. We can make a killing. And I'm out in the front yard. You can't Donna Shalala be on their own show. And I'm out in the front yard and I'm playing with my two oldest kids. They were like 3 and 4 at the time. Lola wasn't even born yet. Forget about Cora. And these 2 adult men walked by and they were looking at kids the way no adult men should look at kids. And my eyes bored holes into them. For all the good it would have done, they didn't know because they were still looking at the kids. And I said, hey, kids, come on, let's go inside. Went inside, told the ex-wife, let's get the fuck out. We can, we should, we're not. I don't know what it is about agrarian cultures, but they believe in sexualizing the kids earlier. I don't know what it is. You're like, my ex-wife came from a farm community and we didn't get married till we were in our 30s. That was crazy. I go to visit, her father would just be glaring at me. People were getting married out of high school there. Oh, not in the real world, but back in the small. So we moved. So now we're back in the hood. That's fine. I got a big fence out front, but crazy people walk by here all the time. The days you let your kid play outside alone, no. I got a big gate, got a driveway, but I can't see everything. So that's what all of these things, it's a booyah base of anxiety and rage every fucking day. Every day. Sticks in your craw every day. It's like a slather of dog shit that you smell. It's like dog shit cologne that you smell every day. You can't figure out. It permeates your thoughts and your feelings, your meals. You can't figure out why everything is so shitty. It's just that. And I think part of the problem is we need to slap fucking age limits on this stuff. Slap age limits on it. Now they say, oh, guess who's got an aggressive form of fucking prostate cancer? Oh, Biden. Gosh, never should have been in there in the first place. And now we got another octogenarian, septuagenarian in there making calls for those of us who have like real reasons to live. Nah. Done. I'm done. I'm done with this tech thing, these tech oligarchs. I'm done with it all. All right. And additionally, what got me this week, if you read the Substack, what got me this week was this, I remember when I did the Thin Black book, only way I could do that book, black cloth cover, gold embossed, really all this was because I did it in Bulgaria. Can I do that now? I cannot do that now. Bulgaria, Latvia, Lithuania can't get stuff printed back there because it comes into America and America's like, you're fucking with our market, so we're going to charge you all these tariffs. So then really, is somebody going to buy an Oxbow retrospective book for $200? No, they will not. again, if you're watching and want to leave comments and discover through this new channel that you cannot, it's requiring you to be a subscriber. And then 5 minutes later, you can leave comments. It doesn't make sense really to subscribe to this because in 2 days, they'll lift the shadow ban. It's not even a shadow ban, the ban on the Eugene S. Show Stomper show. So you just have wasted your time, but at least you can leave comments now. I ignored the chimp before. I will ignore the chimp in the future. So they're closing in. They're closing in. They're closing in on all of this. Like I said in the piece, it was, Reagan's in, we're gone for good, wasted youth with the pusshead cover of Reagan's in, that great record by Wasted Youth. Yeah, no more. Fuck Reagan, man, fuck Reagan. It's harder. But when Hydra Head died, one of the guys who ran Hydra Head said, Eugene, you don't need a label. You could do it yourself. And I was like, I can do it myself because I had a label before and I'll have a label, And I looked, I go, it's impossible now. Technology has made it impossible to do this. Radio, press, retail, digital. I mean, I'm connected to really good labels, Skin Graft, Overdrives, Epicac. And these guys still can't guarantee living wages, even if they sell tons of records, because they're being gamed by these fucking tech creeps. And now Albini had a take on it. He was like, I like the fact that people in Singapore or Madagascar can listen to our music. It doesn't matter if I get paid. Well, that's why people are struggling now to keep your fucking studio afloat, which is heartbreaking. You know what? If I'm Dave Grohl and I'm out there, I say, you know what? Steve is dead. He wouldn't want to take points on our record, but I'm going to give him those points to keep the studio alive. How many millions could be left to pay? He's been paying that studio off for 30 plus years now. How much is left to pay? 2 mil? 3 mil? Sure, Dave Grohl could afford it. Will he do it? Nah, probably not. Not my business. What do I care? I got it. Shoulder your burdens without complaint. But at this point, Albini's dead. That place as an institution should be allowed to continue. But what can I say? Albini was the institution, so maybe the studio should go. I don't know. But, if they are denying entry or to bands who don't have a big enough following, suddenly you talk to some guy who's sitting behind a desk who fucking hates his life, and he's going to be the one that makes a decision about a band having, well, it says here you only have 7,000 followers. Is that really enough to come to the country and play shows and take money out of this country? What are you talking about? What are you talking? Suddenly, you think that some kids from LA saying shit like Reagan's in, we're gone for good, that really makes a difference? Little things for little minds. It all makes a difference. I got Javi, my guitar player now, worried about his wife getting fucking detained at immigration. Because the paperwork you have to do for a merch person or a filmmaker is different from what you have to do for the band. It's like, this is not, oh man, this is, you are making this date hateful. Now, I know some people who believe that arguing is good. They believe that that's the only way that you really settle things, through arguing. I've met women who feel that way. And I've met men who feel that way. But my plans for my life do not include being at loggerheads with the world forever. The happiest time in my life, I remember when I was 4 years old, and I was just putzing around the house, man. They tricked me with school. Hey, you're going to go to a special place today. I was like, all right. And I went to this place, and I could play there all day. And I was like, this is pretty cool. Well, when can I go home? So you can go home now. I was like, we're going to move. We're going to go to another school. We're going to play there. And they gave me some books. I got book stuff to read. Well, you got to do homework now. Whoa, what is this? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if anybody tried to buy Epicac, Yeah, and then suddenly I'm realizing, whoa, you guys tricked me into this. How was it supposed to be? I thought, were you crazy? I gotta get in, get out. Now I'm stuck here to when? Oh, high school. That determines the rest of Florida. Oh, okay. I got it. These are things. I gotta get to a good college. I busted my ass in high school. Much harder than I had to work in college ever. Get into a good school. Chose a good school because of getting laid, as you well know. I'd like to say academic credentials. I went for the male-female ratio. Place that would MIT, no. Caltech, no. Thank God I didn't go to those places. I would have bombed out either because I'm not strong in math. Stanford, it was like 2 women for every 3 men. I thought that was doable. And still, those were the, in terms of production, worst 4 years of my life. Of course, Kasha laughs at that. She goes, your worst 4 years were some people's entire sex lives. Yeah, whatever. I just know me. So all of these things, you know, and at a certain point, there's a guy who I know, Mike Fox, who used to play guitar for Los Olvidados. Mike Fox is great. And I could never get Mike Fox to talk shit about anybody. He was a relentless positivist. And that's kind of where I'm getting. My old training partner, John Mossback, used to own a restaurant on Fresh Pond Road in Ridgewood, Queens, called Mossback's. He was like, wouldn't talk to people. I go, why? He was like, all they do is complain. I go, well, you realize that's a complaint. He goes, you know what I mean. And if you start to, it's like having a friend who has a red car. You start to notice suddenly you can't see anything but red cars anywhere. Complaining. At this point now, I tap right away. I get people, I see them first thing in the morning. Oh my God, I got a headache. What am I supposed to do with that information? Oh, that's too bad. Maybe take an aspirin. Oh, aspirin won't help. Okay, 2 hours later. Oh my God, I need more fluids. I still got a headache. 4-hour headache is not a good thing. Maybe you should see a doctor. I'm fine. But my head still hurts. And then this is, I cannot. So even though I said, welcome my friends to a show that seemingly never ends, I got no stomach for this. I got the developer in Spain asking me for money. I go, for what? He's like, well, you got to finish the micro cement. I go, okay, great. How much money do you want? He goes, 17,000 euros. I go, hey, I want that too. I'm not giving you 17,000 euros to repair one step. One step. That is insane. So now I've had to mix my Spanish lawyer up into the mix. Man, what do you think? What do you think? What are you thinking? You think because I'm selling this house that someday I'm going to have a windfall? Well, this house hasn't sold yet. FYI, I'm sitting in the house that I gave you links to right now. I'm sitting in a room that I've never done the show from before. This is the living room. Of course, it's all blurry because I put a filter on that I don't know how to take off. And this is all stuff from the staging. It's not my mirror, not my plant. That is my lamp, and that is my dresser. And I am sitting in my chair, and that is my couch. That's the backyard. The lamps, those are theirs. That crappy painting, that's theirs. So who knows? We got some guy who came in yesterday to look at the house. And I was like, man, you got to call the number and make an appointment. He's like, oh, well, but he had an accent. So I'm like, cool, I'm letting him in. Unlike Trump, I'm letting in people with accents. I go, where are you from? He goes, Switzerland. I go, Schweizerdeutsch. He goes, no, I'm from the Italian part of Switzerland. And he goes, parla italiano. And I go, hey, poco, you know. His wife is a realtor. She showed up. She's Asian. He's Swiss Italian. That's like, I only want to sell a house to people who get the house. And the guy spent all of his time here looking at the right thing. The plants, the garden, the pergola, the Alaskan cedar, all that stuff. So, but like bands can't come because they don't have a big enough following. Bands who come back, they get their phones and laptop search to see if they're writing stuff. You see what I had to do with the title of the Substack. This is madness for what? It's not even like, listen, when the Bad Brain is saying Riot Squad, that might have been actionable. Like you might have, I've been to the shows with 1,000 people at the Bad Brain show, and they say, we will not do what they want to do, we'll do what they say, or, you got to call the Riot Squad. And man, you felt like if the cops had showed up right at that moment, it'd have been a riot. A riot. Well, what are people going to riot to now? What are they going to riot to now? What are we going to riot to? The family that came to look at the house that I gave a tour to yesterday, the mother and the father, and their son and his fiance or his girlfriend. So they were either going to buy this house and give it to the son and his fiance and stay in Redwood City, or they were going to come and take the house and let those kids stay in Redwood City. The kid plays guitar. He's about 25 years old. And so I'm trying to explain to him what kind of music Buñuel is. I'm talking about Jesus Lizard. I'm talking about Shellac, nothing. He doesn't know who these bands are. I said, okay, well, who are you listening to? And he starts naming off bands. And I realize the divide at this point is so, I can't figure it out. So it's easy to pick us off now. Easy. You know? And if you want to get muscle up on touring bands, you send the IRS after them. Here I have a list. You played 20 shows. How much would you pay for these shows? And the IRS will ask questions like that. How much will you pay for each show? It's a matter of public record, right? Yep. Clubs had to pay. They got to pay taxes. You got to pay. Okay, well, we got $5,000 a show. Really? Okay, great. $5,000 a show times 20. And, well, hold on. We have expenses. Well, it looks like you lost money on this tour, right? You know what you do? If you have businesses that lose money and you get audited, you know what the IRS wants to know? They don't screw around. They will tell you, say, why, if you're in business, why are you in business to fail? You're failing. Your business is failing. So why? Might you try some other business that succeeds? So, okay. We actually made money in this tour. Okay, now we're talking. So this is your effective tax rate. Back to the house. The guy is trying to dig what 35,000 euros out of my pocket. And I say, for what? And he can't give me an answer. I'm like, oh, yo, bro, listen, we all like that kind of money. I do not have it. I cannot help you. There's no but. You got to come up with a sane answer for me, or you're not going to get, there's one stare, and I think he's confused about what's going on. So this nickel and diming, and it get ready to take a drink. This reminds me of Nazi Germany, right? It's one thing to be a virulent anti-Semite, right? A virulent anti-Semite, and to say, I do not believe extirpation of European Jewry, that they should exist. I don't believe. I'm going to be consequent about it. I don't think that they should exist. So what we're going to do, mass internment followed by destruction, right? Extirpation. You yanked out of the ground. But the Nazis didn't do that. They didn't do that. What else did they do? They put them out in the streets, cleaning the streets with toothbrushes. There was systematic ritual humiliation. It seems, for a modern industrial nation, it seems beneath them to get up to these hijinks. But you got to understand, for these little minds, little things mean a lot. So suddenly, guys in bands who have maybe 20,000 followers are getting jacked going out. They're getting jacked coming in. And like I say in the piece, all the people in the UK who were like, yay, Brexit, yay, including that guy who I understand his misery. What do you say? I've been unemployed for 10 years. I've been unemployed for 10 years. I'm willing to try anything. I guarantee you, if I could find that guy again, he would tell me we made a mistake, because the mid-level of music in the UK is being destroyed. You know how many shows I will have played in the UK in 2025? 2. Supersonic Festival on my birthday in Birmingham, England, and just because we're there and have to fly out of there, London the next night, and that's it. Yeah, I think unemployed 10 years, you're looking at a career change, or you got to turn to crime. Be sitting around waiting 10 years for somebody to help you. Get out of here with that. So they destroyed, and with the clubs, there's a whole trickle-down thing, because those people that would be at the clubs buying drinks, where are they now? Well, they could buy drinks from Tesco's. They need to go to your bar to do it. Well, people are social animals. They're going to go out anyway and listen to a jukebox. How many people can afford to go to Wembley? Or even the pre-show cost, pay for rehearsal spots. our bass amps, our drums, or guitars, are places to store these things when you can't play local clubs to even begin to create the illusion of chipping away at it. What do you do when you start creating, controlling the creative life of a people? And this is not even with the Nazi, take a drink, imprimatur of Entarte, degenerate art. We're not even making a claim. We were just making a claim that if it's not part of the pursuit of the upper classes, it's insignificant and therefore nothing that we're going to pay attention to or help. Which is strongly leading me to believe that the message I'm getting right now is that Aleister Crowley do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. And let me tell you something about the Diddy thing. The Diddy thing is when they compared his, I got the kid in the house now, so I'm gonna have to be circumspect about this. But when they described his manhood as being Tootsie Roll-like, now you may not be a big candy fanatic or fan, but even if not, if you were a kid that ever went trick-or-treating, I'm sure you have a distinct memory of a Tootsie Roll. Now, if she had said Milky Way bar, there's flex room. When people say Tootsie Roll, even with the modern Tootsie Roll, there's no such thing as, it's like jumbo shrimp. There's no large Tootsie Roll. And so if Big Red, so-called Big Red at facial abuse, you see the commonality? In fact, there was a woman who I used to date who said the guys that she will never, ever, ever date again. I'm sorry to have to do this to you, McNuggets. Convicted anal rapist Connor McNuggets. But she said Irish cats. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, they're small. I go, well, how many did you sleep with? She goes, 4. Okay. Well, they're all small. And I go, okay, well, she goes, that's not the problem. Problem's not their size. The problem is how they attempt to compensate for that size. All of them. See, I thought either he hates me or I don't understand. He's trying to leave an impression. This is Diddy. And right on it, 50 was right on it, like Tootsie Roll. I was like, yeah, man, you just gotta, and when you look at a Musk or you look at a Trump, you look at guys who are not radiating that BDE. I got a kid in the house. You got to stick with the acronyms. Exactly. The large Tootsie Roll is exactly like a Rollo, I mean, so Diddy had it going on. The shirts he made that actually won awards were high. The fashion line he did was high quality. Ciroc was still a crappy vodka, but the shirts were the closing. So, these guys, you see, I'm weaving this thing together. It's my raga. I got Trump, I got Musk, I got these, and I can throw Bezos in there as well. There's a reason why half the staff at the Washington Post quit, and he's out there lifting weights, and he's got the wife with the fake lips and the fake cheeks and the fake eye and the fake boobs, the fake butt. It's like, come on. I guess you're those guys who would snark at me for, your 4 years in college was so bad, man, that was a relative orgy, including the orgy that you went to. I'm like, well, you're you and I'm me. I'm not complaining about not having $1 billion. Albini Gon is going to leave a big void. And not just because of the music he produced and the music he made, but because of the fact that he had a certain quality of fearlessness about analyzing and critiquing people that he shared the same space with, which I really liked. Oh, no. See, and this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, Gustavo had to cancel his BJJ trip to Rio because it's you can't do business like this. Free trade. This is not anything but free trade. Open these borders and let people actually get some work done. But the sympathies are all over this place. I don't know if you've seen this video of the Columbus, Ohio cop who hit, tased, and arrested a BATF officer who was at a home after getting a call to receive an illegal shotgun. This guy goes out there tries to get the cop. The woman says, I don't know who he is. He says he's a federal officer. The cops pull up. The guy goes, whoa, I'm a federal officer. I'm ATF. You know, they say, get on the ground. And these guys, the tone and timbre of their voices, one of the guys that do jujitsu with sent me the video. A former cop, Timo, sent me the video. And so I was like, man, these are terrible cops. He goes, oh, now you're in support of ATF now. You can't tell, when you look at the dance card, you can't tell one from the other. I thought he was sent it to me because he was looking at lousy police work. He sent it to me because he's anti-ATF. Those guys are just doing a job. Okay, those ATF guys drove me out of business from when I had my FFL, but that was bad police work. He's at the door at the behest of the person inside the house. He identifies himself as a federal officer, and they say, get down to the ground. He goes, that's crazy. Why? I'm a federal officer. I got my ID and my badge right here. And they flip out. Another car pulls up. Now you got two guns on them. These guys were nervous. And stop resisting, stop resisting. I was like, oh, whoa. Dude is experiencing life. I looked at life from both sides now. So I guess the guy, they paid out like 1.4, 1.6 mil to the ATF officer who apparently is suffering from post-traumatic stress. I don't know if they fired the cops, but it was nice to see that it is not, I guess it is not race, because everybody in this conflict was Anglo, if you know what I mean. I didn't want to do this as a Substack topic for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't want the title to tip off somebody as I'm trying to go out of the country, come back in the country, and then get sent to the gray room, which means I'm operating on a certain fear level, which I hate. And then also I was like, my modus operandi. So you know, I don't want to get jacked up where I'm operating from a position of fear. But even outside of that, we're coming up on my accounting period for the memoir. I'm dying to know how many copies I sold. But the only reason that they could give me the deal that they gave me is because they were printing the books in Canada, and it was cheaper. No more shipping, no more systematically destroy the U.S. postal system, no more put it in the hands of guys like, I mean, you know, come on. I got it. The casino politics. They know and they let it go on. So the system, if you're thinking this is like the old recessions, the presidential peccadillos where they're going to let you go, you don't make a lot. No. Like when they decided to have the Jews clean the sidewalks with toothbrushes, you had to know this is going to end badly. Because this is not just about a philosophical viewpoint. This is about ritual humiliation. This is about some deep-seated emotional issues, small PP issues, which, of course, I've been down the road. I've written an article about it that was bolstered by a researcher from Brown University, where I talk about the axis powers and size. And he said, well, the Italians, I go, yeah, the worst fascist in history. Why? Because there are millions of other things more that they would rather be doing than shooting up the town. Italian food and Italian women, yes, I got it. So all of these, and it's weird, all of these little things that you don't notice and are not super significant, but then they start to make, all of a sudden you start to hear the music. So one guy over here is playing a little bit of a trumpet piece. Somebody over here is playing a little bit of a tuba, and your brain automatically starts to stitch it together, and you hear music that is bad music. But it's seaweed. But it is intentionally bad. Bruce Springsteen is out now giving it to Donald Trump in the shorts, and Donald Trump, rather than help the rest of us, is sniping back at this guy in the way that he loves to do. Oh, who listens to Bruce Springsteen these days? Well, lots of people. Who listens to Taylor Swift these days? Lots of people. Who do you listen to who likes you? Maybe we should start there. But this is why the UFC has got carte blanche. Did I watch the fights last night? For what? I know that Gilbert Burns got knocked out in the first row. He went in deep. He went in deep to do a favor for the UFC by taking that fight on short notice. Once he lost a couple of fights ago. Nice. Thought it was going to help him out in the long run. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Now you're knocked out by Morales first round. Ciao, ciao. So all of a sudden, I mean, Morales, we're used to thinking about these things as discretely different data points. Like the guy over here with the trumpet and the guy over there with the tuba. But nah. They're playing the same piece of music. The most reliable export for the UK outside of Guinness was their music. Off the top of your head, you don't even have to like British music, but off the top of your head, populated already 5. Give me 5. Rolling Stones, Beatles, Clash, Morrissey, Smiths, Joy Division. I mean, I think the list goes on and on. Most reliable export. And they got caught up in that Brexit stuff, and they decided, what the hell? Shot themselves right in the ass. Because those bands that can't get in, there are also bands in the UK that can't get out, and they have no other place to play because touring bands that come in and might give you a leg. Hey, 5471 is a band that played support for us when we played Japan 20 plus years ago. Those guys, as a result of that tour, got signed to Sony JVC, huge, playing 8,000 seat arenas after we left. Well, Burns you can't trust, but Burns is he's a victim here. But whatever, he made himself a victim. You're fighting for people who don't care whether you live or die. It's going to happen. Leibach is they're not British, but whatever. The point is you're gonna shoot your number one export in the ass. Is that what you're gonna do? It's fine. You realize the only reason that any band was breaking their neck to play in London, UK, is because of the presence of the music press, which has systematically been destroyed as well by the internet, run by a few number of technocrats. You see, you just thought that was a piece of music coming from there and a piece of music coming from there. Nah, it all starts to fit together. All starts to fit together. So listen, and if you think there's a large amounts of free cash floating around Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Dubai. I know a guy. I don't mention his name on the show since he's tried to sue me, the prick. But when he went to one of the first ADCCs, he started cheering for somebody who was not supported by the sheikh. They gave him a dirty look at first. He's like, yeah, whatever, because he's thinking America. He keeps cheering on his guy. The sheikh's guys keep losing. Finally, somebody comes over and says, your guy is very good. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, you really love him. Yeah. And he's like, he keeps beating the sheikh's guys. He's like, yeah. He's just really good. And he's like, maybe you could be more measured in your appreciation for him. Have that be something that you feel good about inside. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm going to support my guy. He said, we have lots of desert around here. And then my dude got it. And it wasn't mafia style where they were like, we're threatening in order to enact something else. No, we're telling you how it is. He got so nervous, he left a day early. He didn't tell anybody he was leaving. That was a bona fide threat. So the incursion of all this Middle Eastern money comes with Middle Eastern mores that align perfectly well with the billionaire technocrats that are tightening the funnel, extruding. You know what extruding is? It's how they make wires. They shove something big, like a Mars bar, through a narrow tube to get a Tootsie Roll. You get where I'm going with this. So these are, I'm trying not to be, I said in the piece itself, I'm trying not to be Chicken Little. The sky is falling. But what I did, that Substack today was an understatement. And I have to go back to Bibi Netanyahu for this. Who said, given the history of my people on this planet, if I have a choice to underreact or overreact, I'm going to choose to overreact. frankly, betwixt the two of us here right now, I'm overreacting. And one of the ways I'm doing it is by soft soaping the underreaction vis-a-vis the Substack. You see, these things work together. Because unlike the rest of yous, I've been in that gray room a couple of times. In Norway, in Canada, almost in Nuremberg, and certainly here in America. So when I say it's dire, when I'm talking about a culture war, like if you like Morgan Wallen, you're fine. You like Shane Gillis, who I actually think is funny, you're fine. But you start to veer, you know, and you think this is too small? I tried to get into Hamilton, Canada once to do a spoken word piece, and the woman said, "You sure you're not? You're mostly known as a musician." I go, "What are you reading?" She goes, "The internet." At immigration, she used a computer to pull up the internet, and she's looking at Oxbow videos. And she made me call the club. She got on the phone with the club owner and said, "Who's playing there tonight? Is he Eugene Robinson? Is he there doing music?" As far as I know, it's a book thing. Whoa, as far as you know. That's, dude, you booked me. You know it's, oh, yeah, but she said she made me nervous. 45 minutes later for them to ascertain, I got books in the bag. I got to go. She goes, "Oh, did you declare those books come in?" I go, come on. Squeeze play. What is that hip hop song? He goes, "You know what that means?" She was a shut again. Is it 50 Cent? He goes, "You know what that means?" That means Ron. So I don't know what plans you have for the short term or the near term or the midterm. But at this point, it's like if you read the memoir, it's just like that triple date, double blind date I went on with John and Jake Action and the three girls from Mills. And I'm like, Jake, John, Jake, John, Jake. And the police are driving Starsky and Hutch like top speed down the street the wrong way, heading for them. And they're not listening. And what does Eugene start to do? I start to walk a little slower, start to blend in with the crowd. Latino guys across the street, "You missed another one. There's a third one." And I look at the Latino guys across the street. I'm like, what? What are you doing? And they kind of go, "Oh, okay, I guess he is brown. We can let him go."
Wow.
My skin. So they said, "Okay, well, we'll leave him alone." So the cops got those two guys, and I was free to help the women get back to Mills. And the only way I knew how, did it. Yeah, this happened during college. You know, my dry spell. My dry spell, not yours, mine. Hey, you know what, man? Never does a man stand as tall or as large as when he stoops to help those down on their luck. I was going to say knees, but luck works too. So it's dire. And I'm like the monk in Gargantua and Pantagruel, the book by Rabelais. But he said, "Brothers, you don't understand. If these barbarians destroy our vineyards, we won't have wine for 7 years." And he's like, yeah. No, wine for 7 years. Yeah. No wine, because he jumps on the top of the rectory, knocks off the cross, uses it as a sword, and kills all 7,000 of the barbarians himself. I'm no hero. In my small ways, I'm letting you know that things are dire, beyond dire. Beyond. Whole Jogain is talking about how a Heil Hitler song, take a drink, that Kanye did is actually pretty catchy. People keep talking about, Elon Musk. He's got to take over. He's got to stay in charge of Tesla. He's the number one reason why Tesla's going to the toilet. Can you think of any other outside of Henry Ford? Can you think of any other car CEO that's out there sig heiling? Take a drink. Because I can't at all. And refugees from South Africa, Come on. You want a white ethno state? Yo, you got to control that news cycle the best you can, or you guys are going to get roasted at the midterms. Roasted and roached. Because that's that old internet meme. We're saying the quiet part out loud. You've been doing that for 4 years, and now you can enact it, and people can see all those numbers that you increased in communities of color because they thought you were being real. Good luck maintaining that through 2026. I don't know. Doesn't matter to me. I'll be glancing at it on Apple News poolside in Spain. But Spain's not gonna. What about with Russia? Yeah, man. I've actively and aggressively avoided bullies my whole life or stood up to them. But I just find it to be a colossal waste of time because they do what they do because they're trying to prove something not to the world, but to themselves. And that's a lost leader. So anyway, we made it through the show. I don't know if June can fix it, if it'll be back on the old channel, but you got to understand, it's like the Jake Action, John Norman thing again, all over. I'd like to say with some degree of confidence that the show will continue. I can't make it so. There are forces afoot out here, like I was whispering darkly during the 10 years of Ozzy. There are forces out there behind me that control, that I can't, But one of the last truly free voices in America, I still got the written word. And if you subscribe on Substack, which is free, I got your email address. We can communicate there. There's video on Substack as well. And there might be, June has got to do the research. I can't do the research. I can't. I'm busy selling the house. I'm busy moving the stuff. I'm busy with the tour. I'm busy with my leg. I got no bandwidth. For it. If June can figure out how to get the show off of YouTube and get it to Substack and it still works, we might do that. But I can't do it myself. Can't do it. I'm not complaining. I'm just noting. So anyway, version 364, I'm guessing that's what it is. This is important to know because when we get to 500, like I promised before, there's going to be something earth-shattering. I said I would set myself on fire. That's not going to happen. I haven't figured out what we're going to do on the 500 show, but we'll see. In any case, that's the end of the show. I thank those of y'all who stuck to the end. This is not ideal circumstance. Read the Substack, send it out to people, get them to sign up. I'm still getting people who think I'm the Eugene Washington Post, Eugene Robinson, sign up $70 for the annual thing. Good for them. And good for me. I still won't be writing a guy €17,000 check for curtains and one stare. He's like trying to explain to me they're linen curtains. I go, hey, bro, I don't care if they're made out of toilet paper. I'm not paying that money. In fact, the days of me paying for anything are done now. Take that as you understand it. So let's see. Tuesday, we got If the Shoes Fit. We did a lightning round on Bad Boss Brief on Friday. So the lightning round, we took questions, played the true or false game. You guys actually all sent in questions. So we answered true or false. I don't know who won, who lost, but I feel fairly certain that I had a good showing. Tuesday, if the shoes fit. Wednesday, the new Bad Boss Brief will be out. And I don't remember what else is happening for the rest of the week. Already turned in the piece for Decibel, so I'm off the hook for that. Anyway, thanks for listening. I got to go give this the chip here some dinner. And we'll see you next week. Between that, do not get taken. Do not get extirpated. Do not get sent to the gray room. Do not die between now and next Sunday. God love you. Be careful. Travel light. Look what you made me do! Don't die blinded. Don't die.
Thanks for joining us this week for yet another episode of the Show Stomper podcast, featuring your host, Eugene S. Robinson. Follow Eugene's weekly newsletter, which is a soaring hit, over at eugenesrobinson.substack.com. If you're still hanging on to Twitter, He's there at Eugene S. Robinson. While you're at it, you can follow him on Insta at Mr. Sleep 3. That's the number 3. For more episodes of the show that seemingly never ends, go to showstopperpodcast.substack.com. Eventually, it will house all the Knuckle Up archives we can locate. We already have all the jiu-jitsu breakdowns for free. Check out Eugene on the Bad Boss Brief podcast, as well as the If the Shoes Fit podcast. Pick up his memoir, A Walk Across Dirty Water and Straight into Murderer's Row today, and be sure to leave him a much appreciated, honest Amazon review. Hey, are you still there? I'm here too. This is me, June M. Williams, Eugene's producer. The Show Stomper has been produced since 2015 by Original Designs, owned and operated by myself, June M. Williams. I provide Eugene with things like videography, original show graphics, motion graphics, show logos, podcast syndication, social media, and more. I can be reached at orijunels@gmail.com, which is spelled orijunels@gmail.com.